Welcome to Recap Hub, your go-to channel for film summaries. Today, we have an exciting recap of a thrilling movie for you. Get ready to dive into the world of Ushio and Tora episode 4 and 5. This action-packed adventure will keep you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. So grab some popcorn, sit back, and let's recap the story of Ushio and Tora. In the upcoming episode, we find ourselves at a bustling construction site. Workers are preparing to remove a large stone from its resting place. An old man, weathered by time, steps forward and vehemently advises against disturbing the stone. He cryptically warns of something hidden beneath the keystone, something beyond imagination. However, the workers dismiss his caution and proceed with the stone's removal. Beneath the keystone, they discover a collection of peculiar boxes, their shapes defying explanation. Undeterred, the workers continue to extract the keystone, inadvertently unlocking the mysterious boxes. To their bewilderment, the contents remain enigmatic. Suddenly, a startling occurrence unfolds. A disembodied, flying head emerges from one of the boxes, viciously assaulting one of the workers. Panic ensues as more flying heads emerge from the other boxes. The workers attempt to flee, but the flying heads ruthlessly pursue, resulting in the gruesome demise of everyone present. Amid the chaos, the flying heads convey their sinister purpose. They seek Hazaki Mikado's head, holding her responsible for their imprisonment. The following day, Ushio receives a letter from his father, who implores him not to search for him. Simultaneously, news of a catastrophic incident at the National Highway construction site reaches the community, where an unknown entity has massacred all the workers. Ushio is consumed by anger upon learning of this tragedy. Meanwhile, Tora contemplates his unfulfilled desire to consume a human. Ushio, enraged and convinced that Tora is the perpetrator, confronts the beast. He launches an assault, believing no one else could be responsible. However, Tora vehemently denies involvement and retaliates with his formidable lightning powers. The beast's spear intervenes, shielding Ushio from harm. Ushio persists in his attack, closing in with increasing speed. In response, Tora reluctantly retreats, declaring his intent to seek out other sources of human sustenance. But remember, I will definitely eat you one day, Tora taunts as he departs for the city, intent on sating his hunger for humans. Meanwhile, Inoue, with some free time on her hands, decides to venture outside. Ushio, too, sets out in pursuit of Tora. During his quest, Ushio inadvertently arrives at the construction site where the tragic events unfolded the previous night. The old man persistently attempts to explain to the police officers that Gaman-sama has awakened from its seal within the boxes. He presents a written account of the incident, but the police remain dismissive. Ushio's attention is drawn to a portrait of a lady within the book. He inquires about her, and the old man reveals that her name is Hazaki Mikado, a renowned psychic who used a keystone to seal Gaman-sama. Ushio notes a striking resemblance between Hazaki Mikado and Inoue. On the other hand, Gaman-sama is actively seeking out Hazaki Mikado for retribution. Meanwhile, Tora arrives in the city and encounters a crowd of people on the highway. As he prepares to indulge in a feast, a car collides with him, rendering him invisible to bystanders. Enraged, Tora unleashes his lightning powers. Inoue, too, has reached the city. The old man commences narrating the tale of Gaman-sama and Hazaki Mikado to Ushio. He explains that it all began at Shiratsu Hill, a place where those who ventured at night never returned. Desperate, people sought the assistance of spiritualists, but despite their efforts, the deaths continued and hope dwindled. It was at this dark hour that Hazaki Mikado appeared and employed the keystone to seal Gaman-sama. Hazaki Mikado had emphasized that the keystone should never be moved. However, in the city, Gaman-sama mistakes a girl for Hazaki Mikado and takes her life. It's later discovered that the unfortunate girl was not Hazaki Mikado. Ushio inquires of the old man about the fate of a girl resembling Hazaki Mikado, and the old man reveals that Gaman-sama would kill her. On the other hand, Tora attempts to attack a child but accidentally injures himself when he fails to see a glass obstacle. The child is terrified, and his mother remains oblivious to Tora's presence. Tora attempts to find other potential victims but refrains from attacking individuals adorned with perfume and makeup due to his aversion to their scents. Concerned for Inoue, Ushio attempts to contact her, but she does not respond. He contacts Nakamura, who informs him that Inoue has arrived in the city. Worried because Inoue resembles Hazaki Mikado, Ushio initiates a search for her to protect her from Gaman-sama. Meanwhile, Tora encounters Inoue, who is not wearing makeup or metal accessories. This prompts Tora to consider her as a potential target for his hunger. As he moves to attack her, he realizes that other monsters are present in the vicinity. Simultaneously, Gaman-sama targets Inoue, but Ushio intervenes with the beast's spear, instructing Inoue to flee. Gaman-sama persists in its pursuit, and Ushio continues to protect Inoue, leading to Gaman-sama's growing anger. It launches an attack on Ushio, overpowering the beast's spear and sending him flying into a car at high speed. Inoue, witnessing the chaos, runs for her life and seeks refuge in an elevator. Ushio is incapacitated, but Gaman-sama remains a threat to Tora's potential prey. Tora, compelled to protect his source of sustenance, becomes visible and confronts Gaman-sama, preparing for a decisive showdown. As fear continued to grip Inoue, the relentless Gaman-sama made yet another attempt to close in on her. In the midst of the chaos, Inoue found herself in a precarious situation, teetering on the edge of the building. A Gaman-sama, driven by its insatiable hunger, lunged towards her, but once again, Tora intervened to save her. Inoue watched with a mix of terror and fascination as Tora shielded her from the imminent threat. Tora was unambiguous about Inoue being his intended meal, and he sternly warned the Gaman-sama against approaching her. Despite the warning, one of the Gaman-sama disregarded it, attempting to attack Inoue but meeting a swift demise at the hands of Tora. As the remaining Gaman-sama continued to advance on Inoue, she made the wise choice to flee, understanding that her presence among the public would put innocent lives at risk. Tora, his boldness undiminished, tried to reason with the Gaman-sama. He explained that Hazaki Mikado, the target of their vengeance, had long since passed away. However, the Gaman-sama remained steadfast in their conviction that they were bound to their quest for revenge. In a surge of determination, Tora managed to break free and eliminate the Gaman-sama who refused to relent in their pursuit. Meanwhile, the others focused their aggression on Inoue. Tora once more intervened to protect her, but this time, he became the primary target of the Gaman-sama's anger. Tensions flared as the Gaman-sama expressed their desire to defeat Tora, provoking his wrath. Tora unleashed his formidable lightning powers, incapacitating all but one Gaman-sama, who narrowly escaped his attack. This lone survivor made a final attempt to attack Inoue, but Ushio intervened with the beast's spear, ending the threat. Inoue, now fully aware of the supernatural world around her, grappled with the shock of her newfound knowledge. Tora, unable to satisfy his hunger, contemplated a silent escape. Ushio stopped him, extending an apology for falsely accusing him. Tora couldn't resist a jab, labeling Ushio as very stupid. Their quarrel escalated into a heated fight, but Inoue intervened as a mediator, having listened to both sides. She had decided that Tora's hunger for a hamburger prompts him to declare that yokai only consumes humans. In response, Inoue suggests that this particular fare might be even more delicious than humans, leading to a humorous exchange. The scene then shifts to Hong Kong, where two formidable monsters confront a man, causing harm and chaos. However, the man effortlessly restrains the monsters, revealing himself to be Hayu, a powerful exorcist. One of the monsters recognizes Hayu's true identity, and, in their next attempt to attack him, Hayu casts a spell that exposes the monster's true form. In a swift motion, Hayu eliminates the creature. The other monster attempts to flee, but Hayu catches up to him. The fleeing monster pleads for mercy, but Hayu's discovery of a small child Shu amidst the carnage reveals the monster's cruelty. This revelation infuriates Hayu, and he employs his spell on the second monster, ultimately vanquishing him as well. It becomes evident that Hayu has been hunting a specific monster for the past 15 years. Hayu's attention is drawn to a news report featuring Tora, prompting him to identify Tora as his target. The following day, Ushio is asleep when Tora attempts to consume him once more. However, the beast's spear alerts Ushio, enabling him to defend himself. An infuriated Ushio then launches an attack on Tora. In this confrontation, Tora manages to scratch Ushio's face, leading to the realization that Tora possesses the capability to harm him when he's in a specific form. Tora now understands that Tora's ability to harm Ushio is not connected to the beast's spear. It turns out that Ushio becomes a regular person when the beast's spear isn't influencing him. When Tora attempts to attack Ushio, the beast's spear starts moving of its own accord, rendering Tora powerless. Frustrated, Ushio becomes angry, prompting Tora to make a hasty escape. Meanwhile, Hayu has arrived in Japan from Hong Kong. Ushio, upset by Tora's behavior, contemplates ending his life. However, Hayu encounters a group of people bullying a child and his father. Enraged by their actions, Hayu attacks them with the intent to kill. Ushio intervenes to halt his assault, but Hayu notices a shadow looming over Tora and begins to suspect it may be his true form. In his anger, Hayu confronts Ushio and inquires about the monster he seeks. Confused, Ushio fails to comprehend what Hayu is talking about. Hayu throws Ushio to the ground and reveals that he had observed a monster's shadow behind him. Ushio is incensed by Hayu's actions and refuses to divulge any information. Hayu attempts to kill Ushio, but the beast's spear intervenes, surprising Hayu, who was already aware of its existence. Hayu subsequently composes himself and informs Ushio that he discovered the beast's spear in his warehouse, and it guides him. He kneels before Ushio and offers an apology for his earlier actions. Hayu proceeds to tell Ushio about himself and asks for information about Tora while displaying a picture. Ushio, curious about Hayu's motives, inquires why he wishes to find Tora. Hayu proceeds to recount a tragic story. He reveals that he once lived happily with his wife and daughter. However, one night, upon returning home, he discovered that his wife and daughter had been brutally slain by a monster. When he opened the door, the same monster attempted to attack him. Filled with a desire for vengeance, Hayu underwent rigorous exorcist training to acquire the skills necessary to kill the monster that had taken his family from him. Ushio empathizes with Hayu's tragic past but understands that Tora may be the very creature responsible for his suffering. Ushio begins to contemplate the idea that Tora is constantly thinking about eating him, especially after the recent incident in which Tora scratched his face. Ushio decides to share information about Tora with Hayu, realizing that this may provide a solution to rid himself of Tora's presence. After a while, Hayu manages to locate Tora. When Tora appears in front of Hayu, the exorcist expresses his long-standing desire to meet Tora. However, Tora is initially bewildered and does not understand the significance of the encounter. Hayu then alludes to his intention to kill Tora, which prompts Tora to become defensive. A confrontation ensues between the two powerful beings. During their battle, both Tora and Hayu inflict severe injuries on each other. Tora employs his lightning powers, but Hayu effortlessly neutralizes them. Hayu attacks Tora with a weapon featuring strong wires, even when Tora tries to turn invisible. Despite Tora's attempts to evade Hayu's attacks, the exorcist manages to track him down. Meanwhile, Inoue arrives at school, where the students are about to receive their report cards. Ushio's mind is preoccupied with his thoughts, which irritates his teacher. Simultaneously, Tora and Hayu continue their fierce battle, with both sustaining significant injuries. While Tora contemplates his actions and regrets leaving Ushio's side, he unleashes his lightning powers once again, but Hayu promptly thwarts the attack and retaliates. After school, Ushio emerges from his classroom, visibly frustrated, while Nakamura waits for him. Ushio heads home, with Nakamura following closely behind him. Nakamura confronts Ushio, suggesting that he vent his frustration by hitting her, but then she angrily departs. Ushio is taken aback by her actions, and he realizes he made a significant mistake. In the midst of their intense battle, Hayu has inflicted severe injuries on Tora. However, Ushio arrives at the scene and tries to explain to Hayu that Tora wasn't responsible for the death of his family. Hayu is initially unable to grasp this revelation, but Ushio elaborates that Tora had been imprisoned in his basement for the last 500 years. Consequently, Ushio believes that another monster must have been responsible for the tragedy that befell Hayu's family. Ushio apologizes for not disclosing this information sooner. Hayu, despite the new information, remains adamant in his belief that Tora is responsible for his family's demise and is determined to exact revenge. Ushio, however, takes a protective stance in front of Tora and points out the scratches on his face. Tora's scratch bears 4 claw marks, while the scratches inflicted by Hayu only have 3. Tora expresses his disapproval of Ushio's intervention, stating that he didn't ask for help. Ushio counters by expressing his desire to kill Tora for the mistake he didn't commit. He sets the beast's spear aside and tells Hayu that he can kill him if he wishes. Hayu remains resolute in his quest for vengeance, as he seeks to avenge his wife and daughter. Ushio stands firmly in front of Tora to protect him. Hayu launches an angry attack with his lightning weapon, which Ushio blocks with his body. Ushio delivers a powerful punch, severely injuring himself in the process. Seeing the outcome of his actions, Hayu recognizes the gravity of his mistake. After a while, Ushio regains consciousness, and Hayu remarks that Ushio is very careless. Hayu points out that Ushio placed himself directly in the path of his weapon, resulting in his injuries. Ushio clarifies that Tora is his responsibility, but his ultimate goal is to defeat Tora. Hayu smiles upon hearing this and decides to stay in Japan for a while since the beast's spear attracts monsters, and he hopes to find the one that killed his family. Ushio is curious and asks Hayu to share more about the beast's spear. Hayu cryptically responds that Ushio will gradually come to understand more about it on his own. With that, Hayu departs. In the next scene, Ushio is asleep, and Tora, who is still bandaged from their earlier battle, approaches with the intention of consuming him. However, Tora refrains from doing so, remarking that the hamburger was more delicious than Ushio. The episode concludes with this scene. If you missed the previous episodes of the story, find videos through the playlist of your channel. The end. Thank you for watching the video. Wait for the next videos from your channel.